Fortnite has revealed the Chapter 6 cinematic and gameplay trailers to us, and oh my, this looks crazy. There's so much to unpack here, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the important things that were showcased between the two trailers. Before we get started, comment down below how excited you are for Chapter 6. I'd like to hear what everyone is thinking so far from what we've seen. But anyways, to start off, the map looks incredible. Just based on looks, this is easily one of the best Fortnite maps in terms of appearance. The lighting, architecture, and just the entire atmosphere of the map is a vibe. I mean, just look at the farmland. The colors are amazing. It also seems like we are very well getting back into the lore again, with the cinematic trailers finally making a return. And at the beginning, it states that Chapter 6 is taking place in Reality 783, meaning we've officially left Reality 0, which is insane because we were in that for years. But as the camera pans and follows the abductor piece, we can see a view of the entire map, and it looks great. I really like how the mountains all have snow at the top of them. There seems to be a lot of POIs to start off, and the bridge that's on this map looks so good. Like, I never thought I'd be glazing a pixel bridge, but here I am. There's also a massive mountain in the distance.
Dude, it is still massive.
But yeah, I'm really intrigued about this map. It should be really fun to play on. Now, in terms of gameplay, there's a ton of new features and items. First, we have all new movement mechanics, which are launch jumping, ground rolling, wall running, and wall kicking. Some of these look crazy, like jumping off walls is going to be so cool. And from what I can recall, this is definitely the most the movement mechanics have changed in a one season period. So this is really going to shake up the gameplay a lot, and it's going to make for some crazy clips and moments. Next, we're getting floating islands. Back in the day, we had the Kevin the Cube Loot Lake floating island, so this should be really cool. And it looks like we have multiple of them in the game. We also have our first look at some of the new weapons that we'll be playing with in Chapter 6. From this image, we can see the new AR, and it actually has a scope attachment, so I'd almost guarantee you we're going to see weapon mods carry into Chapter 6. The only reason I'm confident in saying that is because the other day we got an image of Hope holding the exact same AR, and it didn't have a scope attachment or any other attachment at all. Another weapon we can see is a new SMG, which looks to be pretty solid. It looks pretty similar to the P90, and I love the P90. It's one of my favorite weapons we've had in Fortnite, so that'd be awesome if we got a new version. Next, we have a new blade that's expected to be called the Massamune blade. And speaking of blades, we're getting the kinetic blade back this season, and if you remember, that was in Chapter 4 Season 2, so it's almost been 2 years since it was last in the loot pool. And then all the way to the right of the image, we can see a new shotgun that is actually pretty large, and its shape is sort of similar to the pump. As we know, Epic loves giving us different recreations of the pump every chapter, so I wouldn't be surprised if this shotgun has the word pump in it. But it actually looks like this could be a recreation of the double barrel, as it seems to only have 2 shots per magazine. Next, we have the train coming back in Chapter 6, but with a different look. A lot more modern than it was in Chapter 5. Another new gameplay feature we can expect are portals. Now, it's going to be interesting how these are going to work. I'd expect them to work as teleportation, so you go in and you're immediately transported to a different location, which I guess you could say is kind of like porta potties, but this is going to be way better than that. It also seems like we have a new type of supply drop, and they're called Monarch drops. Not sure if the name Monarch has something to do with the loot you get from them, or it just being a complete rebrand of normal supply drops, which it very well could be. We have Oni masks that will be in the game, and there are 4 different versions. You have wind, water, fire, and void. The trailer happened to showcase the fire Oni mask, and it looks to be pretty solid. I'm not sure if it'll take up an inventory slot or not, so it'll be interesting to see. Next, we're getting some crazy bosses in Chapter 6. They are not like our normal bosses. Instead, these are giant bosses, so it could be more difficult to take them down in game. We'll just have to see. Speaking of bosses, it also seems like Godzilla is actually going to be a boss on the map, which is so cool, and he's huge. So how we're going to take him down, I'm not really sure. He could have a ton of HP, or he might not. The giant turtle on the map that was leaked a couple of days ago is in fact going to be moving around the map, and it's going to be so cool because we haven't seen anything like this since Klombo all the way back in Chapter 3. Lastly, we have a new type of animal slash pet. Not sure if these are in fact the sprites that were leaked a while back, but from snapshots of the trailer, it looks like these will heal you in some way, most likely in shield as it's blue, but we'll have to wait and see. Look, not everything is going to be a positive, and there are a few negatives that are are showcased in the trailer, mainly bullet drop. Like, man, it really sucks to see hitscan not return after the surveys Epic put out asking whether or not they should return to hitscan. Now, I personally didn't dislike bullet drop, but hitscan feels like Fortnite, if you know what I mean. It was what Fortnite started with back in the day with its cartoonish graphics, and now it seems like we're constantly developing into a more realistic game. But hey, that's to be expected. Even though many people out there prefer simple Fortnite, Epic has to keep evolving their current game to keep things interesting and new. But unlike any other modern chapter we've seen, in Chapter 6, we're getting OG Chapter 1 back permanently on December 6th to help fix the side of the community that isn't satisfied with new gen Fortnite. And this is great because it allows Fortnite to bring in so many more players to their game and could potentially lead them to trying out Chapter 6 itself to see if they like it or not. And hey, the good thing is if they don't, they can just go right back to Chapter 1, which has hit scan and is much simpler. This is the beauty of having OG as a permanent game mode. You're gonna have those who come back to play OG, those who play Chapter 6, and those who will play everything from Chapter 6 to reload. And speaking of reload, having that as another option on top of Chapter 6 and OG is amazing. It really is never-ending content. If you get bored of one game mode, you can just hop right on to the next, so on and so on. I'm well aware I originally said bringing OG back was a bad idea, but honestly, this is a great move by Epic. My only worry is that it'll create a separate player base, but as long as Epic and Fortnite constantly give both the OG community and Chapter 6 community updates and changes, it'll be perfect. Overall, Chapter 6 looks amazing and should be a lot of fun with all the new gameplay additions we are getting. Be sure to share your thoughts on Chapter 6 down in the comments below. Me personally, I cannot wait to hop on and play Sunday, but for now, let's enjoy the finale live event and prepare for a brand new chapter that is going to be filled with great content. We're in store for a great month of Fortnite ahead. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I hope you all have a good one. Peace out.